All right, welcome to the Island Wealth channel. This is your channel where we talk about wealth, not only on islands, but if you want to live the wealthy lifestyle, then this is this channel. If you want to go to an island, if you want to be in the United States and live the great wealthy lifestyle of an island, this is your channel. Today we're going to talk about a beautiful country, Suriname. We just visited Suriname, and I want to give a shout out to Miss Maya Parbhoe. Let me show you what we have been doing the last week. Last week we have been checking this. This was Suriname Decentralized. We went to Suriname with the channel, and I want to show you Miss Maya Parbhoe. She's running for a president in 2025, and she probably is going to be the first female Bitcoin president. So here you see her plan. Here you see her plan, what she wants to do with the country of Suriname. Here you see the story. And also here you see the donation. Let me see here. We got some donations pages. You see the donation page. So I want you to look at this. If you are a Bitcoiner, if you are from Suriname, if you are part of the diaspora in the Netherlands of Suriname, check this out, because this lady wants to end corruption. She wants to have the Bitcoin Treasury standard. That means that she wants to convert cash of the government, everything on the balance sheet or part of the balance sheet, she wants to convert that into Bitcoin. And that's what we're going to talk today about. We're going to talk about what would happen if Suriname has a Bitcoin president and if she manages to make Bitcoin legal tender. And I am Rooney Calmera. I am creating economic models, economic investment models, and I am focused on the data. So when I hear a story about what Bitcoin can do or cannot do for a country, then I'm also interested to looking at the numbers. So please donate for this campaign. She has, let's say, we need about five bitcoins, and right now she's almost got 1 Bitcoin. This is in sats. 1 Bitcoin is 100 million sats, and she already got almost 71 million sats. But we need much more. We need, for Suriname, I mean the people of Suriname needs much more for funding this new potential Bitcoin president. Okay, which countries have already started doing this, putting Bitcoin on their treasury, on their balance sheet? The country of El Salvador, the country of Bhutan. They both have Bitcoin in their treasury. So I'm going to explain it exactly how that would work, and you can comment. You can talk to me. I will be checking in the chat. If you have any questions, just post a comment. Let me see, post a comment here. And we're testing something today. We're testing this StreamYard. So if you want to use StreamYard for streaming, just click on the link in the comments and you will be sponsoring this channel so that we can continue creating great content about you. So this channel is about education. It is only for educational purposes. Nothing is financial advice. And the last weeks we have been looking at the Bitcoin model. So let me change my um, presentation. We have been looking at the Bitcoin model. And what is the Bitcoin model? Bitcoin 24 model means that you can just download a spreadsheet with a Bitcoin model, Bitcoin 24 model, and then you can do these calculations for yourself. So what if you put Bitcoin, you go to your bank and you say, okay, I got $1,000 as a business, or I got $50,000 as a business, but I don't want a savings account. I just want to get my money. I convert it into Bitcoin. And then what will that mean for your savings? There are different scenarios. There is a base scenario. Bitcoin just continues to grow with, say, 50%. There is a bull scenario. Bitcoin goes to 75%. And there is a bear scenario. Bitcoin goes to 25%. Now, let me just show you what Bitcoin has been doing, because you might be saying, Rooney, what are those figures? I don't believe those figures. So let me just share with you again what's going on with Bitcoin. So you see on this screen, you see basically Bitcoin moving to 89,000 dollars. One Bitcoin, $89,000. So that's what we are right now. And it actually started. It actually started with $0. Just imagine that in just 15 years, 2009, starting 2010, and then now it is 89,000. So you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. You can buy one sat. You can buy 10 sats. And one Bitcoin is 100 million sats. If you are a Bitcoiner, you already know this, but I'm showing you this information because there are many, many different people in our community. So shout out, share this podcast right now. Share it if you are on YouTube, if you are on Facebook, if you are on LinkedIn, if you are on Nostr. We will also be showing it in Nostr. Please share this episode because it's going to be really great today. You're going to see numbers. So look at this. Bitcoin has increased in 1 year. It has increased already. So you click here. I'm on coinmarketcap.com. I'm looking at Bitcoin chart, and you see here when you click on 1 year, you see that it has already been growing with 148%. Imagine that. You have a bank account, and in that bank account, your savings will grow with 1%, 2%. We got a pension. We got a pension somewhere. If you got a pension in a bank, a Dutch bank, whatever, you will get that pension when you are 65, and it's growing maybe with 1%, 2%. But Bitcoin already grew only this year with 148%. I mean, never even stocks, because in this channel we are showing you about real estate. We're talking about private villas, investing in real estate. We're talking about investing in Bitcoin. We're talking about investing in stocks. This has never been done before. 149. I think only Nvidia stock, the chip company, chip manufacturer, GPU manufacturer, general processing units, that has been performing better than this. Okay, so we're going right in and check this out. But this is for only context, because you will need this figure later on in this episode. Remember, how much has Bitcoin been growing? Only this year already 148. And when we discuss the scenarios, you will see that this is the scenarios we're going to run are much less than this. If you take it 1 month, it has been growing for 33%, 7 days, 18%, 1 day, it has been down. Okay. If you take all time, It has been growing with a ridiculous, I can't even pronounce that percentage. This is very, very high. So Bitcoin is going up. But if you look at the log, you see the log is just exponential, meaning that it's a straight line, basically a straight line. But this straight line is only in log. Everything which grows like hyperbolic, when you take the log scale, you will see a straight line. And that's why people are believing that Bitcoin is a great investment. So there are Bitcoin, but I'm not going to talk about anything else than Bitcoin because I'm focused on this part. Okay, so I'm not going to look at other coins, other Ethereum, any other coins. I'm looking at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is different. So now let me stop my screen and move to the topic of today, which is the Bitcoin model. There are two models I'm going to present to you. One, Suriname economic model, which is an economic investment model that my mentor created years ago. My mentor is Dr. Marijn van Schaik. Shout out to him because he has produced an economic model, investment model for Suriname a while ago. So if you can hear me, if you everything is cool, just remember, tell me your comments, put your comments in there, and then we will go. Let me check if there is anything happening on LinkedIn. Shout out to everybody. And we're testing this, so maybe this is not working all, but you should be seeing me there. Okay, you should be seeing me, hearing me, everything live and clear. All right. So let me see the videos. Okay, I'm continuing. So this is going to be the information. Now, if you want to know more, just click on bit.ly/Island Wealth IW-Summer-Academy because I'm launching an academy. I'm launching an investment academy. Maybe probably next year. I'm launching that. That means that we're going much deeper into these kind of things. If you are in the Caribbean, if you are on one of the islands in the Eastern Caribbean, Curacao, St. Martin, if you are on Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, and we are broadening. If you are interested in those countries because you want to settle there, you want to have a villa there, you want anything, then you need, if you want an investment, you want to do an investment in that one of those countries. If you are in the United States, you want to go to the Caribbean, have a second home in the Caribbean, etc. You need to know what these economies are doing. That's what you can do with this economic model. You analyze all the data, etc., and you check it out. So please, bit.ly/. You see it down there? That means that you can click there. You can type this into a Chrome browser, and you will be part of. The community. And what's the community about? What's the community about? The community is about creating a great team of people who want to increase their wealth. It's want to increase their wealth. It is the academy. It's an investment academy. We're playing with the terms. It is a summer academy or it is an investment academy. But you will be learning. You will be joining group of people that are interested in wealth. If you have a high paying job, but you don't want to put your money on the banks, you want to diversify, you want to leave something for your kids, you want to broaden your scope, you want to fight inflation by investing in things that potentially are going to bring you much more wealth in the future. You're done with the money printing of your currency, the US dollar printing, and your currency is connected to the US dollar, or you might even have US dollar. You want to learn more about what the wealthy know? Then join this academy. Just your name and their email, press it, and then you will enter the VIP launch. And when you're there, you will hear much more because I'm going to create a great experience for only the people in the VIP launch. And they're going to be the first one there to see when there is an opportunity to work with me, to go deeper in these topics. And the topic we're sharing is what is money? What is money? And what is going to happen with the Surinamese money? Now let me show you the Bitcoin 24 model, because that's the model we are interested in. So I'm going to show you this model, and it's going to be a couple of fast things to brief you. Imagine this is your country, Suriname. You want to know if Miss Maya Parbhoe, she becomes president, and now she puts this strategy, and this strategy is exactly the same strategy that Michael Saylor, the owner, one of the big owners of MicroStrategy, who has been talking about Bitcoin all the time. You want to know what this will mean for Suriname. Imagine that. What is the strategy? Michael Saylor has explained this strategy very well. The strategy is you turn your cash on your company, on your country's balance, you turn it into Bitcoin. So the strategy goes like this: for a country, you will receive revenues, taxes, or whatever. Your economy can grow, and then part of the revenues, the cash, you don't leave it on the banks, but you turn it into Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin. El Salvador has been buying Bitcoin right now. They are doing this strategy. Bhutan, the country of Bhutan. Why do I know that? Because we also have an economic investment model of Bhutan. My mentor created that model. My mentor, Dr. Marijn from Sky, he created that model, and he's studying the economy of Bhutan. But Bhutan, a country, has been accumulating Bitcoin. Now, what if Suriname does that? Now, we're going to talk about this. In the past series, I've already been showing you already what happens with the individual when the individual has this strategy. Individual meaning you. When you start accumulating sats, you don't have to have a Bitcoin, just the sat, accumulated 1,000 sats, 10,000 sats, 100,000 sats. One Bitcoin is 100 million sats. Then we also checked about the corporation. What if the corporation does this, just like Michael Saylor? Your business can be doing this. You can be just doing exactly that with your business, whether you are a small business, large business. You can leave your cash there on the bank, and then it will be eaten up by inflation, or you can just educate yourself about other potential things happening. And that's the strategy we're talking about today. You could be any institution doing this. You could be an indebted nation. Now, Suriname is for sure an indebted nation because they have a huge foreign debt, and they also have an internal debt. Now, if that debt is in dollars and the exchange rate of Suriname is flexible and going the wrong direction, so for $1, you will get more Surinamese dollars, and that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to show you the numbers. Then the debt will be like unpayable. You're like trapped. You're trapped as a country, 600,000 people in a cage, trapped because there is a debt burden and there is a debt chain on their neck. They can't do anything. Now, Suriname has the benefit that it has gold production. We were also going into gold. And Suriname has the also bauxite. Suriname has oil. So everybody in Curacao, Suriname now is cheering because they expect in 2028 that the oil revenues will come in like manna from heaven. But what will happen? Will you turn those revenues into Bitcoin or not? Tell me below, what do you believe? What do you believe Surinamese people should do? I'm looking at all the comments. I see people already reacting. Yes, yes, yes. People should buy. You don't believe in Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Why is this beneficial? Yes. Okay, great, great. We're going to cover most of those. So this is the Bitcoin model. You can download this Bitcoin 24 model yourself because it's open source. It means that you can look at the code, everything that is calculated, you can check it out. I downloaded for sure, and I'm sending it to all my friends, all my investment friends, and this is exactly what we are discussing in detail when you join my future investment academy, my wealth investment academy, Island Wealth Investment Academy. But more on that later. If you want to know more, you see in my title today. That's the program. That's where you want to be. Click on that if you want to know more. But let's look at this model. Indebted nation means all these yellow things are inputs for the model. So you can pick up a country. As you know, we have the data of all the countries in the world. We have been doing that. We have been showing that in graphs, etc. If you are interested in a specific country, you can also book a call with me. I will be dropping a link later on where you can book a call. It's going to be a paid call, and you can book me and we can discuss your specific country, whatever country in the world. It doesn't have to be an island, okay? Because potentially you are interested what is going to happen with your country when, if your country does this. Now, all the countries are potentially going to do this. Why? Even United States said that they are going to buy 1 million Bitcoin in 5 years. So the new President Trump has said, I want to have Bitcoin on my balance sheet. The problem is that there are only 21 million Bitcoins ever. There's not going to be any more Bitcoins than 21 million ever. Do you understand what that means? We talked about the general macro situation, and here you see that there is 900 trillion capital in the world, of which bonds there are 300 trillion bonds. There is 120 trillion in currency. That means the dollars, the Argentinian pesos, the Lebanese, I don't know, the Turkish lira. There is 120 trillion money, fiat money they call it, because it's the money printed by the government in the world. And there is only 1 trillion Bitcoin, 1.4 trillion capital. We just saw it. Okay, we just saw what the market cap. Let me check it out for you. The market cap, because Bitcoin has been growing, is about 1.78 trillion. So this is already history, this 1 trillion, because it's already 1.7 trillion market cap. Market cap means the number of Bitcoin times the price. Now, the number cannot increase to 25 million because in the code it is set it's going to be maximum 21 million. Every 10 minutes somebody can, all the computers in the world, they call them miners, they can be solving a puzzle, and whatever they solve, if they win that block of 10 minutes, and in the block there are transactions, everybody's transacting, I'm transacting to you, you're transacting to me, and you're transacting in Bitcoin, and every 10 minutes you can win 3.125 Bitcoin. The one who wins it in the block has the Bitcoin, has 3.5, 3.15 125 Bitcoin times $90,000 right now. So that's a great investment. That's the business of creating Bitcoin. But it's going to happen in about 10 minutes again. And in 4 years, we know for sure that's not going to be 3.125 Bitcoin because it's going to halve. Every 4 years, you get halving of the Bitcoin. And that's why there's going to be maximum. So there is Bitcoin. There's already 19.78 million Bitcoins already there, total supply. And the maximum is 21. You can see this all coin market cap. And there are only 2 million, less than 2 million, about 2 million, yeah, less than 2 million Bitcoin to be mined. And the government of America, United States, want 1 million. So imagine you have a demand. You have a demand here of maybe 120 trillion in currency. They are printing these currencies like crazy. And now, on the other hand, there is only a safe haven of 1.7 trillion Bitcoin. And that's it. That's it. That is what is possible. That is what this 120 trillion. Imagine they want something safe, something scarce, something nobody can print. They're going to run to one. They're not always going to run themselves all, but imagine 1% of them run. That means that's 1 trillion. Imagine 10% of them run to Bitcoin because they don't want this paper that is going to be nothing worth. If 10% of the people in the world who hold currency run to Bitcoin, then 11 trillion, about let's say 12 trillion of capital is going to search for this one. Imagine the people in art. If art, 18 trillion, if they all decided, no, art is not digital, I cannot send art to the rest of the world. I cannot break art in 100 million digits. I'm going into Bitcoin. Then they're going to chase this 21 million Bitcoins, the 2 million left. At the other side, you have people that are holding their Bitcoin for an investment. So the supply is capped, the supply is a maximum, and demand is potentially 900 trillion. Now let me go to you for the BTC case. I'm going to explain to you. The bull case is here this. The bull case means 75%, 75% Bitcoin growth. We have already seen that Bitcoin has grown with, let me see. It has grown, let me see again, 1 year with 190, 149%. And in the bull case, we're talking about much lower here. So what you see here is actually what's happening, realized until today, is it has grown with 149. It doesn't mean that it's continued to growing like that. But this year, right now, it has grown with 149%. Look at coin market cap. Click on 1 year and you will see the growth. Now, in the bull case scenario, we're going to say the horns are going up. That's how you recognize a bull. Then we are just saying it's going to grow with, assuming it's going to grow with 75%. Yeah? That's very conservative. because it has already a track record today, 1 year, of 149%. So just check everything yourself. Is this realistic? Is what Rooney is saying here, the bull case, is it realistic? Put your numbers in. Okay, good. Then we have, this is now 90. This is not, this is $90. Right now it's $90. I'm updating that. The yellow you can update. The bull case, and then you see the base case. So if you want the base case, which is in the middle, you're going for 50% growth. So these are the assumptions, the scenarios that you need to, what is the assumption of Bitcoin growing? What is assumption in general? Put your own scenarios in there. Michael Saylor just put a base bull case, but you can change it all. So when I talk to you about the base case of Bitcoin, you know it's going to be 50% growth, and then it's going to decrease all the time. Why is it decreasing? It's decreasing. The growth rate is decreasing because it's maturing. It's becoming like gold. It's becoming maybe more players, so more demand in different. It's in different hands. So it's not going to. It's not that somebody has all the Bitcoin and it's a small market cap. It's a big pool. It's maybe an ocean, and then that's why the ocean, the growth is going to be slower. If you have a plant and it's a small plant, it's growing faster. But if it becomes a big tree, it will grow slower. That's why this thing, the assumption is that it's going to decrease. Now, in the base case, in the beer case, beer going down, no horns, then it is 25% and it's going to decrease. If you believe these things are different, you can change them all, but this is the base case. Now, so let me put the bull case. Let me put the bull case. Let me put the 90, which is the price of today, right now. If you don't believe me, it is 90. Stop share and going back to share screen. And I'm going to show you 90. It is 90.89. It just tipped 90. And we're going now to see the impact. So I'm going right to the result for, I'm going to show you right the result of what this means for Suriname. And then after that, if you want to stay, I'm going to tell you how I got to those numbers. All right? So I'm going to present to you the case where you have put this into the Bitcoin model. Now, these numbers are right from the Surinamese investment model. When you have an investment model of a country, you're able to get all the data right away. You don't have to look for the data because you have all the relevant data about the economy. So if you are an investor and you want to invest in Suriname, you want to know what is the monetary situation, what is the situation with the government, how much is the budget deficit, how many people are employed there, what is their income per head. Is it a rich country? Do they have debt? What is the inflation, the exchange rate? All those things, normally it costs you, tell me, believe me, it costs you like months to get the data. Nobody is collecting them, but I'm collecting them because I have a structured economic investment model. And the model is nothing more than a tool where we sit at a table as investors and we do these kind of scenarios where we show you, we discuss what if this happened, what if this happens in the world, what if the price goes up, what if the exchange rate of Suriname continues to deteriorate, to become worse. Why is this happening? When did this happen? those questions. And you are sitting at a table, a virtual table with me. You are an investor. You can be from Switzerland, from the Netherlands, from United States, Norway. You might be a Bitcoin investor, whatever. You're sitting at a table. We're playing this scenario out. You're asking questions. We have some works to do. You can do your own research, bring in your thing, and then I'm going to give you the general picture, what if scenarios, and we're going to scan the future. That's the game we're playing. That's the experience of the Investments Academy, for instance, right? I have also training modules where we show you actually how we gather data and how we use automation with AI to gather data. That's another program. So I'm just giving you right now what we are doing. So I'm breaking it step by step. I'm recording this everything, and that's what you get. So this is exactly what we're doing. You can ask questions, and then live, I'm going to tell them. Okay, so one of the questions is, what is the impact? Can you run this through? Okay, so we have the revenue of Suriname, which is about 0.9 billion US dollars. If you stay till the end, you will see where do I get that figure. Expenditures is 1.0 billion US dollars. So Suriname, small country, 600,000 people. That's their budget. So they're running a deficit because the expenditures are much higher than the revenues. Now, this is an average of the last, let's say, 20 to 30 years. It's not 1 year. This is a structural problem. What is their debt? The debt is 3.4 billion dollars. It's small, but if you take only 600,000, it's a huge debt. And if you take that the debt is actually partly in foreign currency, that's worse. And if you take into account that the exchange rate is $1 is 36 Surinamese dollar, and it went from $1 US dollar is 7 to $1 is 36 Surinamese dollar. So it's basically five times in a period of say 4 years. So people are basically killed. People with an income of 5,000 Surinamese dollar, which is a lot, get killed. They got squashed through exchange rate, which is worsening. Exchange rate means for every dollar, you need more Surinamese dollar. Then, together with that, means that inflation is like very, very high. We will look at inflation. You see? Right now, inflation is 18%, which is very, very low because it has been 50%. I'm going to show you. But if we put these figures in, and we take 4% cost of debt, and we take the assets of 0.1 billion, so about 110 million dollars. And if we take that, all these assets, that's basically gold. That's the gold at the central bank of Suriname. Then we say 100% of their assets, apart from BTC, from Bitcoin, is in gold. That's just an assumption. And if we take that the government, the revenue growth is 18% and the expenditure growth is 21%, then now we take the bull case where Bitcoin grows with 75%. Then you see here, what can the government do? The government can now go double maxi. The government can go triple maxi. The government can go a BTC maxi and BTC 10%. That's a strategy. That's the levers where the government can pull. That's a decision. So the government cannot do anything about the base case, 75%, 50% growth, 25% growth. We can also run a scenario where it goes down. It's a decrease. You always have to test these. But if you choose double maxi, then this is the strategy. So what is double maxi? Double maxi means in this case that the government is going to take 65% of the treasury, of the cash, it will convert it into Bitcoin. And then the government will have a conversion program of years of 4. We'll do this 4 years. And then the government will also get 10% on extra debt to buy BTC, to buy Bitcoin. 10% of the revenue. So imagine government getting revenue, taking debt on that revenue. This revenue is the collateral. Taking debt, maybe in Surinamese guilders, dollars, and then buying BTC. That's the double maxi. And the triple maxi is just going 100%, all your dollars, all your Surinamese dollars, you don't put it in a bank anymore. You convert it into Bitcoin. You see Bitcoin as your treasury, as your main investment, digital investment. You save in Bitcoin. And then you go 100% of the surplus is going into Bitcoin. And you also take 20%. Now, this is very aggressive. So if you take the double maxi, remember, this is your surplus. So you already paid for benefits, you paid for roads, you paid the pensioners, you paid the public servants. It's your revenue, it's your surplus. So expenditures minus revenues. And we can also have a scenario where you get more savings, more revenues out of the oil, and then you will get more than this growth rate. But we will leave that scenario for the future. This is just a scenario like it is right now. What if the government invested in Bitcoin? Now, double maxi. You see here, we chose double maxi. We chose the scenario bull. And now here we see the net assets. Now, the net assets is basically your net worth. Because if you have your assets minus liabilities, if you have a balance sheet of yourself, if you have a balance sheet of your company, a balance sheet is the state of your assets and liabilities at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter. You can have a personal balance sheet. If you want to know more about these things, your personal situation, then you need to join my Island Wealth Academy. Look at the title below, right? If you do this, the net assets of the Surinamese economy will be, of the people, will be minus 3 billion US dollars in 2024. And you see, it will continue to be here. But in 2035, it will turn into a 3 billion net worth. So in just, let's say, 11 years, from 2024 to 2035, you already are net asset positive. That means that now Suriname does have a debt, but it also has more assets. Bitcoin is on its balance sheet on the asset side, and Bitcoin grew more the value than the debt. That's why the net asset is 3 billion US dollars. It goes to, in 2040, to 19 billion US dollars. And then it goes to 82 billion US dollars. So I'm going to give you, if you download, if you go to this bit.ly/IW and you raise your hand that you want to know more about the investment academy, Then I'm going to give you as a bonus, you're going to get this version of the model, and you're also going to get the model of Suriname. Now, it's not my model, it's the model of Stuseco. Stuseco.org is a foundation of the Surinamese economy. Shout out to Dr. Marijn van Schaik. You can go to the website and you can download that because he donates that model, and it's not open source, but you can use it. You cannot use it commercially. You can use it and you can download it. But if you want my version that I updated the last 10 days, then if you join, you will be receiving that so that you can do your own calculations, right? Now, what if they go triple maxi? So look at this number, 82 billion US dollars, and look at triple maxi. So you see already that their net worth is going to skyrocket because in 2035 it's going to be 19 billion US dollars, 18 billion US dollars, and 293 billion US dollars. So basically, if there are a couple of ifs, if Bitcoin continues to grow at the bull case 75%, and then at the decreasing, we're not saying 75% and continue, 75% and then decreasing at a decreasing pace, but it's still growing. If the Surinamese economy, the new president, potential president, the Bitcoin president, the people of Suriname choose for Bitcoin president, and she does this, then Suriname is going to be a wealthy nation, because with this wealth in Bitcoin, you can actually do everything. Invest in infrastructure, invest in the healthcare. Potentially, healthcare will be free. Give people a universal basic income, education in health, education for everybody. And on top of this, you can also run a scenario where the government is going to achieve this much, much faster, because already in 2028, part of the money is going to be from oil. The oil revenues are going to pour in. And what are you going to do with the oil revenues? You put it into Bitcoin. So you are able to buy Bitcoin more faster. Now, how many Bitcoins do you need? Do you buy? In this scenario, remember, we have 2 million Bitcoins left. Everybody is looking for those million. For a small country like Suriname of 600,000 people, you need only 1,600 Bitcoins. Then you need to buy in 2025. Then you need to buy 319 Bitcoins in 2030. And the price will be, you see, the price will be estimated then, assumption, 1.6 million. This price, 1,600, you buy it at 158. So Bitcoin growing from 90 to 158. Now people will say, hey, Rooney, this is not possible. Let me just show you why it is possible. Then you go 2035, you buy 5,796. No, that's the total Bitcoin. So you buy much less, 169. So in this scenario, Bitcoin is increasing the price. You can buy less and less and less, but still, because the price goes up, you accumulate more Bitcoin. Then 128, then 98. So you got basically 7,000 Bitcoins, 7,061 Bitcoin, and you accumulate that, and your country becomes wealthier. You basically have a sovereign wealth fund, not with stocks, not with Saudi Aramco, not with anything. You have a sovereign wealth fund, and that wealth fund is basically Bitcoin. You go full triple maxi. A maxi is somebody who believes in Bitcoin. Okay. Now, where do we get these numbers? I will show you briefly. I will walk you through the economy of Suriname because I want you to understand what the current situation is of Suriname. Now, let me go for the inflation. So I'm clicking here for the month. I updated this data. Everything you see in gray is basically realized numbers, and everything you see in green is a forecast. That's a convention. So my investors know exactly that when I present a model, that everything in green is basically we are estimating that, we are forecasting that. It's not going to be true, but that's the best we can do right now. But look at this. So the index of inflation is the thing that the basket of goods that nobody actually wants, because those are basic goods, bread, butter, transportation, a little bit of everything. But we want more than inflation. We want a villa. We want to travel the world. We want holidays. We want to eat meat, maybe eat salmon. That's much higher price. We want, if you are wealthy, you want to accumulate things that appreciate. You want stocks, and the stocks, the villas, the Bitcoin are rising much faster in price than this thing like inflation. So this is a basic goods. And to compare, United States, if it's going to 3%, 3.5%, this is the situation in Suriname. So look at this. 100 is the index. So we had 100 index around April, no, May, you see here, May 2026. And then because this is the month, in just 2026, in just 8 years, it went to a crazy 825. The index. That means that it went 8 times, it grew with 8 times. So what does this mean? This means that in just 8 years, you saw like your money become worthless. Because the annual inflation is 18%, 18.4% expected by me in 2024. Central Bank is believing it's 12%, around 12%, Central Bank of Suriname. It was 51%. So basically 51% inflation per year, 52% in 2022, 59% 2021, 34%. And then in 2019, it was just 4% because this was Corona, and Corona 2020, basically everything, boom, going up. Why is this inflation? So let's look at exchange rate. We're going to cambio cursa. This exchange rate is showing you that just in this number is basically the exchange rate. It goes to 1 US dollars is 7.5 Surinamese dollar in January 2020. Look at this. September 2020, it doubles. It means that if you are earning 5,000 Surinamese dollar, now your purchasing power is 2,500. If you are a well-paid teacher in Suriname, you're paying 5,000 Surinamese dollar. Now half, in just less than 1 year, half of it is gone, your purchasing power. You will look at the digits, 5,000 digits, Surinamese dollar, still on your bank account, but you cannot buy anything, half of it, in the groceries. The gas is going to be higher, everything is going to be higher, the school of your children is going to be higher. Look at how it went from 14 to 16. It jumped again. So this basically means that the Central Bank of Suriname lost control about the money, because the goal of the central bank is to keep inflation stable, to keep exchange rate pretty much stable to make sure that there is not enough liquidity, which is money printing, that the banks in Suriname, they don't just flood the people with money, fiat money, with paper. So this is what happens for you if you are in the United States, if you are in Curacao, if you are in St. Martin, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, Turks and Caicos. People, look at this. Take this Surinamese case. And there are also people who believe that this is exactly what is happening with the United States dollar. A whole bunch of debt, printing money like crazy. So in this Surinamese model, investment model, you see already what is happening actually with the US dollars also. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a United States uh, investment model. It's going to be a great experience. If you are interested, just join that academy because I will be showing you in that academy. I also have a link below. Click the link below, especially if you want to be part of that experience where in about, let's say, 12 weeks, about 12 to 18 weeks, we are going to create a United States investment uh, macro model to go deeper about the United States economy. Just like we are doing here, we will be explaining everything. So look at what happened. It jumped again in, let's say, June 2021. June 2021, we are at $21. And now it's going up again and it's out of control. Look at the jump again here. It jumps again in 2022. So now we are in 2024 and it's basically November and it's already 36. This is just an example here, but we paid $36 Surinamese dollars to buy $1 in November 2024. So this means that when you go to the model, because this is the model with all the indicators of Surinamese economy. Look at this. Consumption. What's consumption doing? Again, here we have it since 1954. Mr. Marijn from Sky did a great job. We can do some historical analysis. We can do everything here. And look at 2024. We got here consumption. We got here the economy, the GDP, 150 billion Surinamese dollar. That's the economy. And in 2023, it was $127 billion Surinamese dollar. And then we got investments. We got, important to say, the monetary sector. Look at the monetary sector because that's interesting. What happened with the money creation, right? So that's what we can do in every workshop, experience, discussion, strategic discussion, investment discussion, building business cases, running simulations, what happens with the government so that you can protect your wealth, real estate, your stocks, your investments in that country. That's what we're doing here. And then we will go through the data like this. So if you look at Suriname and you say, how much money did Suriname print? How much is the total M2? That's this, the broad money. The broad money, M2, if you look at the United States, it went like sky high, exponential. Check M2 FRED. FRED is the Federal Reserve. Check the M2 and you will see it sky high. So if you look at Suriname, you see already that it went the same thing. Look at these figures. We're looking at this number. Look at these figures and look at how fast it increases here. Liquidity means it's going from, this is a million, 160 million, 208 million. So it was like below a billion in 2001. And then in 2002, it goes to a billion Surinamese dollars. A billion. Then it doubles here in 5 years. 2.1 billion. So something happened with the central bank printing all that money. Then it goes to 4 billion Surinamese dollars in 2008 during the during the 2008 financial global financial crisis. It went boom again up. So you see it's going to 6 billion. So you see here it's like skyrocketing, and now it's projected to be 112 billion dollars. So if you're getting that much money in the economy and it has a COVID pandemic, then you will see in the key figures, you will see that basically COVID, the economy dropped. So you see here the economy dropped with 16% in 2020. It dropped with 16%, and then probably they kept giving the economy much liquidity. Now, one last thing is you also want to look at the debt. So when you're looking at the monetary sector, you also want to look at the debt, because what is the debt in Suriname? You see, what's the debt? How much? How much do we have? So you're looking at the debt. I cannot find the debt right now, but the debt was very big, and especially the debt in foreign uh, the foreign debt. You see, the foreign debt. So basically, we have the monetary sector, we have the gold sector, and everything. Now, let me just finish with a positive note, because I want to look at the note at the gold of Suriname. First, I'm going to show you the gold in the world. Why is the gold important? Because the BRICS are accumulating gold. Everybody's accumulating gold because they want to check, like, they don't want the US bonds anymore. Who are they? The BRICS plus. They don't want the US dollars anymore. So in this gold database, and this is the disclaimer, it's not my data, but the data is from the World Gold Council. The Gold World Council produces this information, and we have this information, the number gold in tons, and these are my assumptions there. You see green again is my assumptions. But now look at Suriname. Where is Suriname here? And Suriname has 1.2 tons of gold. A ton of gold is about I think 33,000. Yes, we had it here. A ton of gold is 32,000 ounces, and 1 ounce of gold is about 2,700 US dollars. So I calculated this because Curacao, my beautiful Curacao, sold 1/3 of its gold. While everybody is buying gold, Curacao, the central bank, sold 1/3 of its gold. So 3.9 tons of gold. They didn't ask me. They didn't ask me. They didn't ask me about what is happening in the world with gold. But Suriname has 1.2 tons of gold. So there you see it. That you see it. Suriname has one. So how is it possible that Suriname produces gold and has only 1.2 tons of gold? How much gold is Suriname producing? Because if everybody is accumulating gold, then what I want to know as the people of Suriname is how much gold do we have? Because Suriname has a 96% of Suriname is the rainforest. And they live only on 4% of the land. The rainforest is another chapter because there are potentially a lot of life, living organisms in there. Not potentially, but undiscovered species. And in another episode, we're going to invite maybe another expert, Brazilian expert, who's going to talk about that because I learned a lot about that in the last episode of Decentralized, Suriname Decentralized, which is the conference I started at the beginning of this session with. How much gold? This is the data, and the data are gold statistics. So what you see here is, again, basically in 2024, Q1, Q2, Q3. Let's take only Q3. If you look at the total, this is in kilograms. In grams. So this is a kilo. You see? So if you take this, the total in grams, this is a lot. 6,672 grams. That's a lot of gold. So this is 18,000, 19,000 grams of gold. That's the production, and this is the export. If you go to the right, you will see the export is all this grams of production is almost being exported. You see that? So what is doing that? There are three companies, three entities. This I heard is especially the Brazilian people, miners, and these are two other. So basically, Suriname, there are foreign companies who are exporting, producing the gold. Gold is being bought, sought after, and the government, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is receiving 2% on the value of gold. So this is the total value in US dollars. So apparently, Suriname had $663,000, almost 1 million US dollars in the first 3 quarters of gold. Now imagine you have this revenue. This revenue is the value of the exports, but Suriname didn't do that. Suriname probably got 2% of this. You see? So if you take 2% of this is very low. So how is it possible that a country with such amount of gold is now has only 1.2 tons of gold and also is not improving economically? So I want to end with this. I want to end with this scenario. And I want to, again, tell you that you can be part of this experience called Island Wealth Investments Academy. I want you to go to the link in there. I want you to, if you are interested in StreamYard, click on the link below this episode so that you can try out StreamYard. You will help us improve this channel, support this channel. And I want you to look at the Maya2025.com website where you can look more about the vision of Miss Maya Parbhoe. She's a Bitcoiner. She's potentially the next president, the Bitcoin president of Suriname. I want you to consider sponsoring her, even if it is 1 sat or it is 20 sats, if it is dollars, whatever. Support her. They are aiming at bitcoins, 5 bitcoins, and they already have almost 1 Bitcoin. So they are aiming at 5 bitcoins. We want 5 bitcoins for the people of Suriname. If you are in academia, if you are investing, if you are earning money in the Netherlands, in the United States, you are a Suriname. You want the Surinamese economy to improve. Today we have talked about the potential of Suriname having a Bitcoin strategy. So the people who join Island Wealth Summer Academy, bit.ly/ look at that. The people who join that this week, if you look at this, the people who join that will receive this information that I provided today. I want to give this information away so that we can have a discussion. Only the people, this will not be available in 2-3 months. Only if you join this week, you will get that information. Only if you join this week. Please help me share this information. Only when you join, you will go to get this information today. I mean, this is precious. I share this information with only my strategic high-paid paying clients. I'm only going to share this thing, the next version of these models, with the people who invest, but only if you stayed this far. If you join the VIP room, it's only free to join. And what you do is you raise your hand and you say, I want to know more about this Bitcoin 24 model. I want to know more about the Surinamese economy. I want to know more about investment models. I want to have my wealth growth. So thank you very much. And we're going to stop. Thank you very much for all the comments. Thank you very much. We're going um, to finish this episode with the potential wealth of Suriname. So you're going to see beautiful what wealth can mean, what freedom can mean. So thank you very much. And I'm going to end right now.